Hello everyone, welcome to the Stitch and Buffs YouTube channel. We are so excited you have joined us for today's video. We are back with another stitching challenge. If you haven't seen one of our challenges before, I am Abby and I mostly do cross stitching and cross stitching patterns, and Sam, who you'll see in a few minutes, mostly does embroidery and like needle painting, I think it's called. I don't even know the terms of embroidery, but she is the expert at embroidery and I more specialize in cross stitch. We go head to head with just a theme and we have to design a 4-inch hoop based off of that theme. This week's theme is summer flowers, and we're going to take you behind the scenes of the design process, the stitching process, and the results of who wins the challenge based on our Instagram. So if you haven't followed us on Instagram, head over there to Stitch and Buffs on Instagram so you can vote on all of our future embroidery challenge. Make sure to vote for me.
Hi everybody, today I'm going to be talking about how I came up with my summer flower competition piece, and I'm really excited to talk about this one but also have some learning moments. So the first thing is, before I even picked out a design, I knew I wanted to do thread painting. I really enjoy thread painting. I haven't done it in a while, so I wanted to keep my skills up. Although I'm not super great at it yet, I am getting better about blending colors. And for those of you who don't really know what thread painting is, it's essentially using a needle and thread like a paintbrush. Based off of your stitches and how many threads you decide to use, you can kind of blend colors and make it look as realistic as you want it to look like. I traditionally like to do flowers and thread painting. I also do 3D flowers with like the wagon wheel stitch and things like that, but I really like how thread painting flowers turn out. So that was my first decision. A good decision, although it does take some time. It takes a little bit longer than cross stitching and things like that. So I ended up being a little bit behind schedule when I was doing this one, but I really like it. And how I got my design was pretty simple. I picked that pretty quickly too. My husband and I recently moved into a new home. We had a housewarming party and some really good friends of ours brought us these beautiful tulips, and I took lots of pictures of the tulips, and I decided that I wanted to use that for my competition piece and then give that back to them as kind of a thank you. So my design is a summer flower, thread painted, and it's a tulip.
So I think I'm gonna go just classic with this one. I don't think I'm gonna do too much crazy stuff. Basically, like for a bigger hoop, I would maybe do like a letter or a design that's all filled in with flowers, because I've seen a really cool like letter A's, you know, that are all flower based and stuff like that. But since we're doing such a small hoop, I feel like it's just gonna be too hard to get that definition of like what flower is which within the letters and things like that. So I think I'm just gonna go very simple and do just a vase with some flowers. And the flowers, I think I'm just gonna do a tiny little square as the center, and then just like a very pixelated flower. So like a square of 4 and then just 2 stitches on each side to signal a flower. Gonna add some greenery in there, and I think that's pretty much gonna be it. I feel like some people like the classic look, nothing too fancy, just a cute kind of vintage looking set of flowers. So let's see how it goes. I'm gonna try to design this. Let's go. Okay, so I went through my cross stitching thread box and I found these colors that all seem to be kind of within the color scheme that I'm going for. I want it to be, I know it's summer, but I'm thinking I might go like more this dusty, dark color scheme. So I was thinking that this could be the middle of the flowers, and then these could be different flower colors and just have this kind of good pinkish, dusty palette color, and then maybe this could be the vase. It looks more white on camera than it is. It's more like a gray. So hopefully once I've stitched it, that color comes through more. But I think it's gonna work and the color scheme might work. It might not look super summery. It might look more like fall, but I'm just gonna go for it because I really enjoy this color scheme and I already have all the threads, so I don't need to go buy a ton. Although I don't think I have a good green, so I'll probably need to go buy that anyway, but I don't care. I'm sticking with the color scheme for the flowers that I already have. Let's put it in my wind stitch tool and try to develop this design. Okay, so it's a while later and I think I've come up with the design. Now, some of the flowers look pretty dark with that one kind of dark magenta color that I have, but I still think I'm gonna like it. I've added this green color that I'm gonna have to go buy. It's just very simple. I really hope that Sam doesn't do something super fancy and, you know, that wows everyone. It's also worth mentioning that I'm gonna put the design on more of a cream colored backdrop, so it may end up looking a little bit more vintage than it normally would, which I think this vibe goes with. So yeah, we'll see how it all goes, but I think I am definitely committing to this design, and I'm gonna definitely start stitching it. So let's see what happens.
So here is the finished piece. It is 5 colors. The yellow, there's 2 shades of yellow, and then there's 2 shades of pink and the brown. I really am mostly happy with how it turned out. I think it was kind of interesting because the pink is blended really well. You don't see harsh lines of pink blending into the other shade of pink, but it was a little challenging for me because I had to do a lot of satin stitch where it had like a harsh border with another color, so I had to make sure that everything was like pretty even going around. The other thing too that made this kind of challenging was the picture of the tulip has a petal kind of folded over, and I just was not able to capture that in my embroidery, and it kind of made the tulip at the end of the day kind of looking a little lopsided. So I'm not super thrilled with that, but it was a good exercise anyways. I love the colors. I think that my friend will really enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I can't wait to see what you guys vote on this week.
All right, hey everyone. So I am going to do the reveal of my Summer Flowers Challenge finished piece. And I have to say, I'm very excited with how this turned out. It wasn't as bright as I originally was going for, but because I used all of the thread colors that I already had, and I kind of ended up really liking this little bit darker, dustier color scheme. I don't know if it's gonna win because it's so dark and it doesn't really give a summery vibe, but it does give kind of an intense, smoldery, nice vase of flowers. Like, I love how it turned out. I'm excited about it, so I hope Instagram agrees. But this is my final finished product. I think the lighting is pretty good there, but it looks just like, if anyone's ever played Stardew Valley, it looks just like a pot of flowers from Stardew Valley, the video game. It's like all pixelated and stuff. I love how the flowers look. I think they're so cute. I just love the color scheme and everything. So I'm happy with it. I really, really hope that I win, but we'll see how it goes. Hey everyone, Abby here. Let's talk a little bit about final results. As you have heard, we put these up on Instagram and put it to a poll so that people can decide, and it ended up in a dead tie. First time ever. It was head to head the whole time, like neck and neck. So it's a tie. That is all for this week's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't followed us on Instagram yet, do that. And thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week for another video. Bye everyone.